GM friends, thanks for tuning in to DeFi-Logic's TA Tuesday live in the server at 10 a.m. Mountain Time every week. We currently have a partnership with Blowfin, and our ETH strategy enters beta testing on Astrobit very soon. They're just ironing out some bugs from the V2, and it sounds like they'll be ready this week, so be on the lookout for that. Join us in Discord. The link is in the description below. In today's community call, we will review charts for Bitcoin, ETH to Bitcoin, Sol to ETH, MATIC, NEAR, GRT, and SEI. For legacy markets, we will review S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial, NASDAQ 100, DXY, US 10-year bonds, and finally gold. And with that, over to Eddie.
Bull morning, guys. Bull morning. Let's get this rolling. Okay, pumping hard, right? All-time highs are coming. We're seeing the boomers start to FOMO, I feel like, because they saw their first 10% candle in a day. That never, ever, ever, ever happens really in the legacy markets. Or I guess it wasn't even 10%. It just seemed like it went up a lot. 10% in 2 days. Still, that's pretty crazy. When it's up only, it's tough to do anything if you're not in from lower, right? So if you're watching this and you're sidelined, why? Really? I guess the only thing we can do, there's potentially some resistance here at the 59 level. I don't even know if I would really call it that though. Like, my targets are set on this, like 66 and new all-time highs. I think that's coming very soon. If we do pull back, I expect it to be pretty shallow. This 12-hour candle doesn't have a wick, so maybe just in right around here is where we're all look to get going. All up in this zone, I think would be nice. But this isn't like just a blind bid area. You have to make sure people are buying before you get going. And honestly, I would probably focus on alts anyway in this zone. So on the hourly, it looks like this, because there's a chance it just blows right past it and retests this area. This is more like the easy trade. This is more like an advanced trade. So we'll see. Those are the two zones I'm looking for now. Just if we get a bullish price action in here, can get going. You could even just get back into Bitcoin there and just target those highs. And then obviously anything lower is just better. So just got to be careful. Market's getting crazy. Expect pullbacks and just buy them. We'll go to Ethereum. So I've had the same Ethereum range for like ever. The blue line to the white line. We're almost to the range high. So again, if you're not in yet, why? What are you doing? Makes no sense to be stabled up, and it hasn't for a long time. Same idea here though. If we can retrace all the way down to this 3030 level, this whole like block right here, that's just a very obvious load up on Ethereum for new highs. I just have this level marked for now, but eventually I think before ETF, I'd imagine it be higher than this level too, but that's just the first target. So that's the deep pullback zone into this 3031 level. If it's shallow though, I'd do the way this spot looks too. I think on the 12-hour it looks the cleanest. Yeah. This is just a very obvious bid zone right here too. So same idea. This is my more like shallow pullback area with a heavier support right beneath it. You can just slowly buy all of it. I think you'll be fine. And you'll still get a pretty decent move, even if you only fill the very top of it. 13% to target. Not bad. Let's see. I haven't looked at Ethereum to BTC in a while, so I figured we'll check this out. I'm not really sure what the heck is going on here. So this is one of my few charts I just have a ton of lines on. I don't know why, I just do. But Ethereum hit some resistance over Sunday. It's pulling back now, but this is a little support zone for it right here too. So it's tough to say. I'd imagine for Ethereum to start taking over, but we have a new dynamic in the market with all the, not the institutions, but with all the Bitcoin ETFs going live and trading. We've never really had FOMO from that type of participants before. So good areas for everybody really, but I do expect maybe for the next leg, Ethereum to take over here, just according to this chart. That's what I'm looking for with Ethereum. I think that it'll be better. Move on to Sol real quick. Haven't really paid too much attention to Sol lately. This is just one of my main spot positions, so I don't do a whole lot with it, honestly. But it looks ready for the next leg up. I actually might start longing it here. It looks really good, actually. This whole level, high or low, if it starts putting price action and turning it into resistance, me personally, I would just add to my positions because I think Sol will trade much higher in the near future. It looks really good right here currently though. Yeah, so I might start bidding that. Let me just check a higher time frame level. Yeah, I like this whole zone, honestly. You wanted to put in a higher low here to continue bullish, right? If it does this, then at that point, I'll probably look into this zone, this 70 level, or even just a sweep of these levels too. You also have, that's the thing with bull markets. It's like every level can be a support level. It's just a matter of how much do you want to bet at that level. So I think a really tight level could very easily be this, just aiming for new highs. And then you just, if you come down here, potentially as well, and then down there too. I don't know. Either way, I'm betting that this is a higher low here and it goes higher, personally. So MATIC, I was looking at this the other night and it just looks like it could be ready to go again. So let's just create whole new plans with it. I want to start on the weekly. I want a better chart. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so this line from who knows when is starting to get flipped. That's what I was noticing on it, and it's got a new range to play in. So MATIC is looking pretty good, honestly. Zoom in into the daily. High time frame, it's pretty choppy. So it's like this is like one of those positions where it's just going to take time, and you just want to try to buy anytime it dips down a little bit, right? Even if it comes down here, because I do think that it's going to come up here in the near term future, which that's a pretty decent move. 55%, you can't really complain about that. It looks good to go right now, actually, too. So probably just start scaling in from anywhere from here to this low, basically at 90 cents. I think it looks nice. I like MATIC a lot. What I have next, near also looks really good, and then it puts in the whole phone, right? So Phantom, what is it? FTM, I don't remember. One, near, and what's the last one? Atom. Those ones usually run together, but near looks great too. Let me just, I could just delete this chart. Same idea. Start with weekly. I've been looking at weekly ranges lately because that's where you're going to get the most moves, right? So it's still technically inside of this weekly resistance, which is good. It gives us time to get going. But at the same time, it's in the new weekly range already. I'd probably call it something like this. So we're still in the lower half of it, which is good. But it's the same thing as the last one we just looked at, where I'd be okay buying it here all the way down to the range low. I think it's at a level where you could slowly buy in. So the way I've been playing this whole thing is I'm basically playing spot with leverage, okay? So I'm trading it as if I'm trading spot. I'm just putting leverage on it and just being aware of my liquidations. I think that's a smart, easy way to just grow your capital, because obviously leverage allows you to put more into it, but also I'm playing it with very high time frame invalidations as if I were trading spot. So for me right now, near, it's very simple. It's just buy a little bit right now because it looks like it could go. And then if it just drops down into levels, I'll just add into it with my final buy levels being in this 3.3 area. And really, same idea. I really just don't want it to start losing these lows and start putting in price action showing it's bearish. So that's the idea with near, just starting to slowly buy it and target up there. And then the last one I want to look at is SCI, Super Saiyan. I don't really know how to say it. Just because this one's been consolidating for a while and I think it's going to be ready to go for another leg. Here, let's just cut a fresh chart. That's the Binance. Let's look at Bybit. Basically just been chopping around doing nothing for a while, but we're starting to form some support levels here. All that looks good. So I believe I already started buying recently, just because I think it's ready to start going. And who knows how high it's going to go. It's going to turn into price discovery. So the whole idea is that this is the higher low. These are like the former all-time highs that it's retested already. It's coming in to retest it. This like daily demand zone again. So you just want to start buying it now up higher. And you could say that this level here, you could say that this level here is your invalidation. But for me, again, I'm basically just playing spot with leverage. So if it does go lower, I'll just add to it because I think in the near future, it's higher. So it's very simple, just trying to play the bull trend and going all in, but being smart about it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to pass this on to GForce now. Thanks.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. And thanks for calling out Pepe yesterday. I'm up like over 200% on a 5X long.
There you go.
Yep, so that's nice. I'm looking at WIF now, and I'm still looking at Floki, but I don't know if I'm going to enter that one. And with that, I will bring up GForce.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to cover the legacy markets and just S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and I'm going to throw in all XY, which is dollar index, and gold and US 10-year yield. So we're first going to start out with S&P 500. Basically, it's been quiet. As you can see, for the last 3 days, it's quiet. It hit on Thursday, it hit an all-time high, and then Friday, which is right here, basically hit it again, and it's been pretty quiet since. So I think a lot of the action is now going to crypto, especially into the ETFs. If you look at some of the reports, the ETFs, especially BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, is just getting over 3 billion, which is really fast. In less than 2 months, it's gotten that much value. The articles usually say that it takes 5 years for an ETF to get into the top 25, and the Bitcoin ETFs have reached that within a month. So that could be a reason why there's not much action in the legacy markets, because everything is going Bitcoin and ETH at the moment. You can see, though, that it hits the 2x upper band back on Thursday, and then Friday it hit it again and pulled away from it. So that is obviously an overextended mark right there when it's trading above the 2x band in legacy markets. Crypto has no problem trading above the 2x band. So anyway, you can see how the difference is there. So this is NASDAQ. It has basically same thing, has done the highs. It went up to its 2x band right here last Thursday, tagged it, and then went up again on Friday, tagged it, and then pulled back, and now it's just flat. It had that big jump, which created this gap right here, and that was off of NVIDIA's blowout earnings. NASDAQ is playing that AI theme, and it should. And we'll see if it has run out of gas, or it's going to continue to go up. I think it needs a pause for a while. We're moving now to Dow Jones, and same story. Okay, so unfortunately, I would say the last 5-6 years is that legacy markets tend to move together. There's no differentiation between the two. There might be a small one, but you'll see that even though NVIDIA, which is in the NASDAQ and the S&P, not necessarily in the Dow, it just keeps going up. They all run together. So what I need to do is that this is a good chart to point out gaps. So this gap right here will probably be, legacy markets has a tendency to fill in gaps, especially with the Dow Jones and S&P. So this gap right here, I can see that I'm expecting it to fill in, which would make sense because then it will go down to the standard deviation line, which is this black line right here at 38,000 or 38,650, roughly around there at that point. So that would fill in that gap, and I'm expecting that to happen. Moving on to the dollar index, the DXY. We're looking at it fading. You can tell that went from the upper 2x band all the way down, and it's now trading below the standard deviation line. You can see I had this line at 104.15, which it basically went above it back in the first part of February, flattened out right at that line, and then popped again up here, and then it's just flattened out. So most of this is just because everybody's moving into crypto. And that's understandable. There's an inverse correlation between the DX and crypto. So as the DXY is going down, crypto is going up, and vice versa. So that is what's happening at the moment. So moving to gold, the only reason why I'm looking at gold here is it's had a good run. You can see middle of February, it just blasted back up. So it doesn't like being below the 2000 level. It just rejected that level and just has blasted back up. It's exhausted now and it's going to move sideways. But the next target should be 2050 at this point. This would be the next target. So we'll see. Markets like to do a little head fakes where it gets up to a certain level, like at the standard deviation line, this black line, and then it pops up, usually comes back down to it, and then bounces back and continues up. So those are a lot of head fakes that people go for. Over the years, I've learned not to go for them and just wait a little bit and get confirmation. There's an old saying, you can be a minute late and $1 richer, and I tend to go that route. So that's it for me. That's it for gold, and the rest of the charts, I'll hand it over to Pepe.
Yeah, hopefully legacy markets don't go to zero with the liquidity rotation to crypto. That is it for this week. Astrobit 2.0 is live, and our ETH strategy is enter beta testing with Astrobit once their migration is complete, which should be this week. So if you're not signed up for beta testing, we could probably squeeze you in. We also have a new Dogecoin strategy as well that we are talking with the team at Astrobit, see if we could start that beta testing at the same time as well. So we will keep you updated on that. Also, use our affiliate link for Blowfin and get a futures bonus at the end of the campaign. Their proof of reserves are verifiable on Nansen, so you can ensure funds are SAFU. Thanks for coming. We will see you next week at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. GM friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Tuesday at DeFi-Logic.com.